All right, so first of all, I mean, we already know this back at the station, but could you please give the people watching who aren't as familiar just your name and role here?
Yeah, John Sandoval. I'm the head women's soccer coach at Northern Michigan, entering into my fourth year.
Great. And could you discuss what led you to joining NMU as head coach?
Well, it's a kind of an interesting story. Well, basically, I was the assistant men's coach, and then one day I get a call from the previous AD. I go down there, and they say, "Hey, the team has voted for you to take over as interim." So I was the interim head women's soccer coach for about a month. I totally fell in love with the team, the process, and saw a lot of growth potential within the program, and that basically led me to apply to be the head women's soccer coach. Obviously, after the blessing from my wife Nicole, and we really enjoyed and loved Marquette, so we were fully committed to the process.
And this actually kind of goes into that, but I remember you mentioning that you're a father now. Not sure how old, but congratulations regardless. Is there anything coaching has taught you about fatherhood or vice versa?
I've learned a lot of coaching. He just turned 1 month yesterday, so I'm not sure, how much I'm applying into the fatherhood yet. Besides maybe patience. Patience has been a big one, and trying to be a calming presence. And I think the team has really taught me how to communicate more effectively and to communicate a little bit better as well. And so I've really enjoyed, obviously, as a coach, you think that the majority of your time is teaching young people skills and the game, and hopefully things that they'll take on to the next stage of their life. But at the same time, as a young professional, as a new father, I'm learning a lot from this team and learning a lot about communication skills and just things that I'm really going to take with me for a long time.
And what is your favorite thing about coaching, and what's your favorite thing about this team outside of the ridiculously good start so far?
I mean, I think the favorite thing is just being a part of the process and watching the players grow as people and as players. So, every so often I'll get a text or a call from an alumni, and they'll just talk to me about, "Hey, I just got this promotion. Hey, coach, I'm actually coaching now at the youth level, and I'm really enjoying it." Or like, "Hey, coach, I'm doing this. I'm taking this master's program. Can you write me a letter of recommendation?" And then you spend like 10 to 20 minutes on the phone just catching up. So I think the lifelong relationship that you actually develop with these players and really these people are the most valuable thing. And so what that comes down to is relationships that you develop, and going to weddings and just seeing them enter new stages in their lives and having kids and doing all these things. It's the relationships that are the most important part. About this team, especially after this weekend, it's two things. It's watching them go through adversity and then coming out the other end and being able to find the joy within that process, and then also the personalities that come out. Like, it's a goofy bunch. Mm-hmm. They're funny. And I really think that the relationships that they've developed within the locker room, within each other, is really rewarding to see too. Like, we talk about playing for each other a lot, and I firmly believe that this team is committed to playing for one another. And when you do that, you're able to build these self-reliant programs, these cultures that are built off of player-led teams rather than coach-led teams. And at the end of the day, that's really what we're trying to build.
So everyone knows about Molly Pistorius' leadership on the field and off of it. Is there anyone else in the locker room on the field that you'd like to shout out as another leader?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have Izzy Brucelow, who's an all-region player. She's a terrific person in the locker room, and then so is Brenna Musser. There are people that lead by example, and then Brooke, who's no stranger. She's also an all-regional player, and you think about the names that I just mentioned: Brenna, all-conference; Brooke, all-region; Molly, all-region; Izzy, all-region. When some of your players that are getting these accolades are your hardest working, are your vocal leaders, it just sets the tone for everybody else. So we're really fortunate to have such a great leadership core.
Okay, great. And what do you think has changed about this team's culture to have such an amazing season last year and start off hot this year?
I think like we talked about earlier is that we really try to put ownership and accountability on the team and really preach play for each other and really preach if you guys find a way to bond, you're going to be able to battle more. And I think that's where it starts off is. And we have a mantra in our locker room and it's very specific. It's we respect everyone, but we fear no one. And when you have that type of mentality, when you approach each and every game, that combined with the love for one another and the love for their teammates, you can find success within your culture.
Yeah. And last question I have is alumni weekend this weekend. Have you spoken with any alumni about showing up tomorrow in full force?
Yeah, we've talked to a couple that just left our program, like Rachel Ersty, Evelyn Floor. Again, we have a member on our staff, Haley, who just had a baby, so I don't think that she'll be there.
Yeah.
But then we also have local people like Andrea Smith and Julie Callahan. Those are people that have played there and have played here and are devoted to Marquette, building the game in Marquette, and it's really cool to see that. And then now you've got on Friday, we have Hattie Britton coming up here from Parkside, who's from Marquette. Her sister's on Northern's team. We've got 4 players on Northern Michigan's team that's from Marquette. And so I think you're going to see this continuing trend where enough growth is coming within the game of soccer in Marquette where more and more players are going to be playing at the college level, which is really rewarding to see.
And also, is there anything that I didn't ask you or anything you'd like to say to people watching at home that you'd like to include?
The big thing is like what we're trying to do as coaches is we're trying to grow the game. And if you see like myself, Laura, and the men's coach Alex, we are in the community within the local club. We want to grow our rec program. We want to grow our travel program because at the end of the day, when the community and the university work really well together, everybody benefits from that growth. So we want to see everybody out on Friday and Sunday, not only supporting ourselves, but also supporting our men's team as well.